wants to smoke? Who wants to smoke?
Yeah.
Who wants to smoke?
Yeah. Temperatures going up, the heat is rising, scholars showing up, audience vibing. We on a mission, competition is the only desire. Whose information will be facing the mercy of fire? So step up, stand up, can you walk through hell? So tough, too tough for the weak, soft shell. Set the fire, fan the flame, smoke is rising in blooms, while the inexperienced today just does the choke on the fumes. Bring your science, bring the wisdom, even bring your religion. If you can't stand the heat, then please don't come in the HOK. It's just a session, learn a lesson, fight and overcome oppression. Who'll be the best debated by the time all the smoke clears? Who wants to smoke? The smoke. This environment is the toughest, so bring your best in, put your spirit to the test. You stepping into the ring with the scholar, with the no digits harder. I will make you holler in the information flow with power. You wanted to peak, the elite, the undisputed. Now watch as your outdated theories get refuted. I'm posted in the den, let the world burn. Pressure in the room, it's finally my turn. They want the smoke, I'm the whole forest fire. Watch the oxygen vanish as the flames climb higher. My mind is the weapon, I'm no joke. I'm the baddest, I come for the smoke. No joke, I'm the baddest to ever breathe. I don't play house, I make them leave. Smoke session. Smoke, 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 smoke session. I want the smoke. Smoke, 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 smoke session. sa.neter, you better warn them. Who want the smoke? Who wanna say that I'm not playing? Oh my God, sa.neter, stop playing with me. Now Paul, you better tell him, you better tell her now Paul. Stop playing with me.
I'm telling you that the beginning of knowledge is purification of self. That is going to guide you exactly what information that you need to study or research. And once you have that right there, you perfect that, and then you teach and help others do that. I'm not saying not to read a book, because you have to read information and research, whether it's on the internet or not. I gave you 5 sciences and told you that I got these 5 sciences by going into nature.
But let me say to you, would you agree that you would have a even deeper understanding of those sciences if you read those eminent scholars who spent their lives studying them? Because that's really what scholarship is.
That's right.
You're studying. No, but I'm still, I don't want you to put one above the other. They are equal. In the Kemetic tradition, we have a concept called Smaitawi. Smaitawi is a union of the two lands. And sometimes people describe it extremely literally, and they're talking about one kingdom joining another kingdom to become Kemet. But in many ways, what we're talking about is more than just a historical description or a literal geographic description. We're also talking about the ability to have unified brain thinking, to use both the analytical and the intuitive. What you're describing is intuitive knowledge, and intuitive knowledge is powerful. So that's why I want to say I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm suggesting a tweak. That's what I'm doing to my brother. I'm suggesting a tweak. Because if you use both together,
yes,
now you're able to get something.
You're saying the same thing that I'm saying, only I'm saying go out into nature first. Then rather read books. There's so many.
Then you're putting one above the other.
You have, it's order in everything we do.
But brother, you just said that you were not educated. So how would you know?
What I'm saying to you, I know because I've got knowledge of self. The only way to get it.
But what I'm saying to you is,
and even if you
have one path, how do you know that there is not another path that is equally
I'm telling you that all paths lead to the source, and go to the source first, which is nature, and that will lead you to everything else. And that's all I'm saying.
Dear brother, all I'm saying is that we should describe this as a comprehensive process, something that happens together. Because I really do believe that before you went to nature, you were in school. You tell me you were never in school as a child?
The knowledge that I learned, I did not learn it in school. No. Actually, school confused me.
You and I will agree with that. But
actually,
when you went
school,
to nature, you began to realize this is not what I should learn. So in that sense, that even was an education.
Right.
Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
what I'm saying to you is this. I'm not negating the fact that we must do research and read books.
Okay.
All I'm saying
I'm not saying you're negating it, but are you
all I'm saying the beginning of knowledge is fear of the Lord, which is to have reverence for nature and go out and love yourself through your body. First of all, you can't even comprehend half the knowledge that you read in the book without having the proper health, without having the proper mind. So you have to cleanse yourself first, clean your blood, so that when you read it, we can read the Bible. Right? I read the Bible before I went out into nature. Mm-hmm. And now I read the Bible, I can truly interpret it now because my mind is clear, because my body is clean.
Okay.
We have to cleanse our body by being in tune with nature first before we can even utilize any of the knowledge and information in books.
I don't want this to become strictly a conversation about that. But let me say to you that, because I think that what could happen is it could make it sound like we're disagreeing. Mm-hmm. I think I'm not disagreeing with you. Yeah. I believe that I'm just offering a suggestion that both of these
to the people to first cleanse your body and your mind before you start reading books and trying to interpret this.
But let me say this to you. One of the ways that you can even understand what cleansing is to do research.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna say.
You gotta agree. Come on now, brother. Just say, Jabari, you are right.
Nah, I'm not saying that.
Your face said it though.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying this.
We saw that.
No. This is what I'm saying.
How did you know how to cleanse yourself?
Listen, because I was led. That means intuitive. Like you said, the intuitive knowledge, which all knowledge comes from. When people write the books, before the book get written, it comes from intuitive knowledge. If you have intuitive knowledge, what led me to the jungle, what led me to nature, wasn't research.
How did you know to cleanse? What is cleansing to you?
It was intuition. It was the knowledge that you gained without learning.
You're saying you didn't read anyone else.
It didn't take that. It's so many people out there. It's so many things.
You didn't read anyone else that taught you how to cleanse. You weren't listening to Queen Afua or Dr. Sabi or Africa.
No, before. That's what I'm saying. With me, it was more of a yearning for me to something in me, and connecting to nature has made me understand everything. Before I thought. So listen. What I'm saying.
Yeah.
Before I went out into nature, before I went out to the jungle, I was researching information, all kind of the Bible. Listen to me, brother.
I am listening to you. Go ahead.
Listen to me, brother.
I am listening to you.
Everybody's online in search of self some kind of way. Online, in the library, the books, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We all online in life. Listen, what I'm saying to you is that I couldn't even understand the things that I was receiving until I went and cleansed myself. And I'm not talking about somebody telling me how to cleanse myself. It's simple. Connect to nature. Get closer to the equator. Get into nature. And this is not for everybody, because you have to already be smart and have a DNA that is meant for you to be something great. And part of that DNA would tell you intuitively to go to nature. Mm-hmm. I'm telling the people that can hear me. Mm-hmm. To make it easy for yourself. Right. Instead of going going anywhere. Anybody that's with us have to cleanse themselves first. To go into nature and isolate yourself. Go isolate yourself. Go speak to God. Go to sleep in a tent for 30 days in the jungle. Eat fruit. Cleanse your body and lay on the ground and connect your body to the earth and get some downloads. For at least 30 days of the cycle of the moon. You know what I'm saying? So I
actually believe that's powerful.
And when you do that, you will things will start to happen from within. All these books that we hear.
You and I are agreeing on.
Yes. All I'm saying is before you, but what I'm saying to you is if we try to understand knowledge,
Yes.
before cleansing this computer, it's like putting a whole bunch of new knowledge in that you're trying to compute, but you can't compute it because you are at a low frequency than the knowledge is. You have to be at the same frequency to even interpret the knowledge. What I'm saying is
the family needs to hear that, because I'm not disagreeing with him.
before somebody comes to you, shouldn't they cleanse before they start learning? Before somebody
I might
learns,
have to teach them how to cleanse.
even if you teach them how to cleanse, you would have to tell them you need to go out into nature. You need to go be in isolation.
I don't believe that all cleansing occurs in isolation. I think that when you look at the symbol, for example, of the lotus,
Go ahead.
right? And the lotus has been a spiritual symbol in a variety of traditions, right? Have you ever seen a lotus grow?
Absolutely.
So the reason why I'm asking is because it's a powerful thing, right? You actually see this beautiful plant that reaches towards the sun, right? It opens at the light of the day, which is, I guess, a good symbol for illumination, awakening, enlightening. And when the sun goes down, it closes its petals and it retracts under the water. But one of the things that people don't necessarily do, because they've never actually seen the lotus grow, is that the lotus actually lives in the nastiest, muckiest, filthiest place. And so I believe that spiritual attainment can occur anywhere. I just believe that one of the greatest ways for you to become spiritually attuned is to do so in the jungle of the city. Because the reality is that is when you're tested. And steel sharpens steel. I truly believe that when we see the symbol of the lotus, we are seeing a great teaching on how we must remain spiritually pure while living amongst decadence. You see where I live, right?
Yeah.
You came in, you see where I live. And my greatest work is to work within my community. I don't have the luxury. I don't think we have the luxury to retreat someplace where the largest numbers of our people are. And so I think that that's a powerful lesson for me. Now, let me be clear. I do also, people in our tradition do a lot of spiritual and physical fasting. And purification. So I agree with him that is so powerful. And I want to thank you for bringing it to these airwaves, because a lot of folks that are on sa.neter's channel don't talk about it. So I want to say that is powerful. So it just needs to be said that 85% of what you said, I agree with wholeheartedly. All I'm suggesting is a tweak. That's all. That's all. Okay. And we don't have to see everything 100% the same.
You don't have to say it.
Yeah.
But let me say this to your people, and I hope he don't clip this out. I want to say that you can't heal in the same environment you became sick in.
I would say to you, you don't know if you're healed until you're in the same environment that you became sick.
Okay. So
that's when you know you're healed.
Okay. You know you heal.
That's when you know you're healed.
You know you heal when you're in your right mind. And in your right mind, you would never go back to prison. But if you are in prison and you are in jail, if I locked you up in slavery, okay, I don't have to go back to be a slave to know that I'm not no longer a slave no more when I become well. I don't have to, once I become a crackhead, go back around crackheads again. I don't have to do that. Matter of fact, I'm here to help people reform from that are in that. And I can't do that in the crack house. I have to help people get out of the crack house first. That's
a powerful approach.
Okay, so what I'm saying to you is we cannot heal in the same environment. Matter of fact, we're more likely to relapse. We know through epigenetics that you cannot vibrate. A cell cannot vibrate higher than its environment. Matter of fact, you would have to take the cell out the culture medium, put it in a new culture medium, and that cell will start to formulate to its environment. So the environment.
We have to create those cultural mediums where we are.
But
listen to me. The majority of our people will not be in the jungle. They're in the jungles of.
We're not worried about the majority.
Around the world.
We're not worried about the majority.
That is my task. Maybe my task is different than you.
What I'm saying, and that right there may be a flaw, because what I'm saying to you is we can't save everybody. We can only save ourselves and those that are able to hear. It says even in Egyptology, when teaching someone.
In Egyptology.
Well, let me say this. It teaches you how to teach.
What teaches you how to teach?
Teaches you how to teach to those that.
What teaches you how to teach?
Oh man, I got distracted.
What happened?
Yeah,
Is he okay?
He's on the phone.
I'm gonna have to
Okay, so.
tomorrow's good.
Okay, so he okay. So I hope
He in trouble. Obviously,
Okay.
he apologizing to somebody, right? He in trouble.
Okay.
Listen, man, sometimes you get in trouble. You got to restore my art. That's what he's trying to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't heal
Because
in a
I
sense.
want
I
you-
mean, I think that's misleading. How can we heal in an environment that we are sick in? We have to get out of that environment, rehabilitate, and then get people out of that environment and not go back to the muck. You don't go back into the muck. You have to get up out of that and stay up out of
Now,
it.
see, here's the difference with us, though. I'm about the liberation and the resurrection of an entire group of people, 1 billion Africans. And perhaps you are only talking about a small group of people that you can go off to a small jungle retreat on. That's not, wait. That's not who I am. If I was that person, I would not be here. Okay. And so I'm not saying that what you're saying is wrong. I'm just saying there's more than one way to achieve the goal. Okay. And it's important for us to recognize that we don't all have to do the same work. You do the work you're doing and do good work, brother. I'm not saying you got to do it the way I do, but I believe that we should be about the reclamation of our people. And I know that when I talk about our people, I'm talking specifically about people of African descent and more generally about people on the planet. And I truly believe that with all of the dastardly, inhumane, barbaric things that have been done to our people that look like me and you, brother, somebody has to be about trying to rectify that. That's what I'm here for. That is the work that I have been divinely ordained to do. And so I can't do that in the jungle. I got to do that in the jungle of Harlem, in a place where crackheads walk in front of my house. I got to do it in a place where when I walk outside, the hustlers have to say, "Good day, brother Hetep." Because the hustlers say Hetepu to me because they recognize the work that I'm doing.
As they hustle.
And as they hustle and they trying to come up out of hustling. So I have to help them come up out of it. Because I'm sure that if we looked at the stories of the people that that are around you, they were in difficult situations. My job, my task, the work that the Neteru have asked me to do is to assist those people.
Okay.
And it doesn't mean that's your task.
I want to say this. Number one, you said the billion African American. You here for the black people.
I'm not here strictly for the African.
You for African American.
But specifically for
Specifically.
I didn't say African Americans. Africans.
Africans. And that means all across the board, whether they're in America or anywhere they're at, you're here for melanated people.
Specifically.
Specifically.
That does not mean that the reclamation of what Frantz Fanon called the wretched of the earth will not assist all people on the planet. And I truly believe that it will. I think that when the elders of the planet wake up and return to their position, to their place, what will happen is they'll put the world back in balance. And I think that's what has to happen. You know that people of African descent are some of the most spiritually tuned people on the planet. We have always been some of the most spiritual tuned people on the planet. Now, notice I said some of. I'm not saying that great spirituality and wisdom can't come in people other than people of African descent. But I do believe that it is the African that must awaken and put the world back into balance. We have the youngest people on the planet right now, brother, that are veering the planet to oblivion. So the elders have to awaken. That's how I look at it. And it doesn't have to be that we do the same thing, brother.
Okay.
You know what I mean? People have to do different things.
All right, let me say this. Spirituality has less to do with color and more to do with the mentality of the human being. Let us put that out there right now. Spirituality is beyond what meets the eye, beyond the physical. It's the metaphysical. So when you're talking about healing people spiritually, we cannot limit ourselves to melanated beings, even specifically if we're talking about spirituality, because spirituality talks about the metaphysical, where we judge a man by his creed and not by the skin color. We cannot even specifically aim toward melanated people because we are living in the age where a male could be a female spiritually, and a female can be a man spiritually. Someone could look to be one thing and be a whole nother thing. This is where you have the transgender thing going on right now. We're living in the end of age, right? Where spirits are flying across it. We don't know who is who. You don't know it. So we talk, first of all, let me say this. Spirituality is the study of the metaphysical, meaning that goes beyond physical. So if you're a spiritual teacher and a priest, then you cannot limit yourself to African American or African people specifically at all. You can, if you're going to heal humanity and humanity's spirit, it has nothing to do with color at all. Number one, because it's spirit. And that's where we get messed up. We cannot limit ourselves only to African people when we're talking about spirituality.
Well, let me say three things. First of all, I think it's interesting you made that comment when the only people that came here are people of African descent. But perhaps you've said that because the videos I see, you have a lot of white people in the jungle with you. And so maybe you're speaking to them. I'm not
Chinese
speaking to
people,
them.
I have Indian people.
But I'm not speaking to them. But hear me. Wait, hear me. You can explain that. Let me say this. And I'm going to use a biblical passage because it seems like you are biblically based. And so hopefully this will help you hear what I'm saying. Well, you use the Bible a lot.
Yeah, I use the Bible.
Yeah, so I'm going to speak to you in the language maybe that you can hear. It says, I did not mean that disrespectfully, so I don't know why. Listen to what I'm saying first, brother. You might agree with me and say that's great.
Yeah, but you assume something.
It says, that which you do to the least of my brothers, you do to me. And these are words that are spoken, I'm paraphrasing, by Jesus the Christ, Yeshua the Christ, that you will read of in the Bible. I would argue to you that the least of the people that have been the most downtrodden, the people who have had the most inhumane processes visited upon them are those who are people of African descent. And so I am not saying that other groups of people on the planet should not receive spiritual awakening. I'm not saying that. I am not saying that you cannot have incredible people who are of those traditions, all those backgrounds that will receive spiritual awakening. I'm not saying that either. And I'm also agreeing with you that spirit actually is bigger, that transcends, it's larger. It elevates beyond these crude husks that we are wearing. I would agree with you on that. However, I believe that there must be someone, there must be some institutions, there must be some group of people that look to right the wrongs that were done over the course of the last 400 to 500 years. And I think that my particular ministry is to people of African descent. That does not mean that if I found someone who was completely in Ma'at, would not be someone that I would, and not of African descent, that they would not be able to be part of my institution. That's not what I'm saying. But my specific ministry, the Shrine of Ma'at, is specifically about the rectification of people of African descent. And so you and I might see something a little different on that one.
I'd like to build on that. I just want to say again, when you say spirituality, it transcends the color of the skin.
I agree.
And we're talking about good versus evil. Spiritually.
Maybe.
We're talking about purity versus defile. We're talking about what is pure, what is righteous. This goes beyond color. We have to stop the color thing. We don't have an enemy. Let me tell you something.
We don't have an enemy?
We don't have an enemy.
Okay.
The only enemy is our own selves. The black man is God. The black melanated people, we are the original people on this planet. Everything comes from us. We cannot say that we are oppressed and that we are supreme at the same time. Either we supreme and we put our own selves into this and we have the ability to take ourselves out of it. What I know is that we got so tired of ruling that we put ourselves through slavery. And that when we're ready, when the time comes as far as conscious cycle, the conscious cycle in the human consciousness, in the mind of consciousness, true spirituality, we awaken anyway. It's a part of the divine order. So hold on. Let me finish.
Please go ahead.
We cannot say we are oppressed and we have somebody holding their feet on our neck and we are oppressed. At the same time, say we kings and queens and pharaohs and chiefs and chieftess. We have to understand this. The black man is God and always have been and always will be. When the universe decided to descend, right? When the Most High descended into human form and blew breath into Adam, he descended into human. It was God, and it was melanated. Let me finish.
A lot of biblical stuff.
Okay, that's okay. That's the Bible uses our stuff. So remember that.
That's biblical as well.
No, it's beyond biblical because it uses our stuff. I'm only meeting people where they at, and I can't go beyond that. I'm meeting them where they at to take them somewhere different. So I'm talking to people, to the common man, so they can understand me. I can't talk it jibber jabber to them. So what I'm saying to you is when the most,
Did you just
I can't
describe African traditions as jibber jabber?
to the average man it is.
Is that what you just did?
To the average man walking the street, it is. They have to actually, for them to receive what you have. I'm not saying it's jibber jabber.
Doctor, what up?
Listen, you acting like you don't know how to comprehend what I'm saying.
I want you to clarify, so I'm not.
Okay, I shouldn't have to clarify because that becomes a distraction. You know what I'm talking about when I say jibber jabber. I'm saying those people out there listening that are not under the scholarship will hear jibber jabber unless they are educated and come. You have to teach people from where they're coming from. And so I'm saying that, and I shouldn't have to explain that because you're a scholar. You understand what I'm saying. You could comprehend.
Well, okay.
What I'm saying to you is that the Most High descended into the African man and woman as the African man and woman. We ruled this planet, and we did whatever we wanted, and we ruled so much that we got tired of ruling.
Doctor, what's up?
We got tired of ruling, and we decided to be slaves. To experience that, we decided to create out of our DNA the Caucasian, the Asian, the Indian. We wanted to experience ourselves subjectively. We decided to become slaves. We're supreme being. And when we was ready and fit, we would wake up. And that process happens within us, not from you saving nobody. You can't save nobody. Either they got it in them and they chosen or they not. You can't make people know. Only they can hear it and feel it and be activated as you speak it, or that's it. It doesn't matter. I'm saying that we God, we supreme beings. You can't say we oppressed and we got my people out here in the corner and and make excuses. No, I will not allow that because we're supreme. That means we put our own selves into slavery. We put our own selves into this just to experience it, just to wake up from it. We went to sleep just to wake up from it. That's how great we was. We were so great that we got tired of being great. That's what God do. That's what God do. God got tired of being great and said, "Y'all,
Perhaps if this was a rhetorical composition, you would win hands down. But you're sitting with a historian. And I want to say that some of what you said sounds good, but that it violates the history of what occurred on this planet so deliberately that it is nothing more than malfeasance from an intellectual being. So either what you've done is malfeasance or it's ignorance. Mm-hmm. And I would like to choose its ignorance rather than malfeasance.
Tell me about the history.
Because I want to really say that if you say, first of all, there are many contradictions in what you've said. There are many contradictions. The first thing that you must say is, if you are saying that the black man is God, but you still say that spirituality absolutely, it is bigger than race, then I'm confused. And I think most people on this platform would be confused, because if the black man is God and I say that my position is that I am here to assist people of African descent, and you challenge me by saying we have to get past race, but then you say the black man is God. Brother, I'm not sure which books you've tried to cite from the Nation of Islam and from the Moors and others, but you didn't even read the complete book. That's problematic.
Shots fired.
And no, that's more than shots. That's a cannon, because I'm offended by what you said. I'm offended by what you said.
Okay.
For you to say that Africans did this to themselves, you are saying that Africans sought to have their wives, their mothers, their children's raped. You are saying that Africans chose to have their genitalia ripped from them. You are saying that Africans chose to be burned while people of European descent, the Tomhu, looked on and had their outings while we were actually doing that. Brother, please, this is rhetoric.
Okay.
It is important for us to go beyond rhetoric and teach our people history. Because the reality is, if you believe that we did this to ourselves and that we are the only ones that are to blame, then you have let a large number of people, well-resourced institutions and nations, off the hook. The reality is that there is much that these institutions have taken from us, and they must be held account for that. So when you say, I'm going to give it to you, so you don't have to keep grabbing. I'm going to give it to you when it's done. When it's hot, I'm going to give it to you. Because I'm offended by what you just said. How in the world could you say that Africans did that to ourselves? You must understand that the only part that I will agree with him on is that Africans are the oldest people on the planet, the people who are perhaps the most wise on the planet because of the fact that we have been on the planet for longer than others. We actually have obtained great wisdom. And so I think that what I must do as a historian priest is to allow people to understand who they truly are. But we cannot then say that we must blame the African for what we did. This is nothing more but difficult rhetoric. To say that we did this to ourselves because we were tired ruling the planet. This is ridiculous. It's laughable. It's only laughable if we must not cry. Because when people say things like that, they say that because, and the brother already said that he believes that most knowledge comes from being in the jungle, and that he would put that above books. Well, brother, you are telling me now that you need to return to books. Because if you are saying that, you must understand history. And I'm saying to you that you are showing extreme painful ignorance of the history of how Africans were enslaved.
There's nothing outside the melanated black man. White people came from us. Humanity has done horrific things to humanity. Let's say that. Because when you're taking away the power from the black man, even acknowledging that there's anything outside of him. You say a white man, Chinese man ain't nothing but a genetically modified version of us. That's us. We God. And as soon as you do that, you take your power away. You can't wake up in that spirit thinking that you have an enemy, that's somebody against you. You fighting backwards, brother. Soon as there's an enemy, an external enemy, you'll never win. First of all, I'm learning with Jabari that Jabari has a challenge with comprehending, because he said I put nature above books.
You did. You said that.
No, I never said that. And what I'm learning in this interview is that the brother has a problem with comprehension, or he's just doing that to win a debate. I never said that, and we can clearly. He knows I never said that. No, I want to clarify that real quick. I never said choosing nature over the books, because the books are actually a reflection of nature. Nature's everything. I'm saying that I clearly said before we learn anything, we need to cleanse our body. All right, so I just want to clear that up, because he said that and told me I need to go back to the books, when I'm like, yo, brother, I just told
now after what you just said.
Bro, I'm telling you the very honest truth, God.
I agreed with most of what you said.
I'm telling you that. Listen.
This is a problem.
Listen, this is not a problem. What we need to understand is this. there is no one higher than us. That's it. We are humanity. Humanity is humanity. And that's why I said when it comes to spirituality, we have to remember the African man and woman were the original humans on this planet. We then genetically modified into every other race. Therefore, that race is us, just a genetically modified version of it. It doesn't make it separate of us.
I don't disagree with
these
that.
are our children.
I don't disagree with that.
Listen, it's no way we can be held and captivated by someone that is our child, our genetically modified version of us. The only thing that's keeping us imprisoned is our inability to actually understand knowledge of self. Once you know who you are, there's no one that can enslave you. There's no one that cannot. What I'm saying to you, and who you are. If you truly understood, no, mentally, all is mental. All is mental. Let me tell you something. All is mental. Their system is only standing right here because we built it. We did this to ourselves. I'm going to go deeper. Can we talk about history now? Who built this economy? We did. We were slaves, right?
Well, it was built on our backs.
Of course it was built on our backs, but it wasn't built on the backs of kings and queens. It was built on the backs of slaves.
Enslaved.
Listen to me. Slavery was big business. We made slaves. Africans made subservients and slaves. Let me finish what I'm saying to you. We did this to ourselves. Even the Bible said we did it to ourselves.
Back to the Bible.
It doesn't matter.
See, when you say
history, we can look into history. We can look into history. We can look in Ghana. We can see in Ghana where Africans sold Africans to Europeans. We can go to the dungeons in Ghana and see how a slave was a human that was created to be a slave. You had to suppress a person from knowledge of self to make a slave. Let me finish, because we're going to talk about history now. Now, when it came to creating another human to be a slave, whether that was African, melanated or not, when it comes to history, when you say history, we have done this to ourselves. Let me say this. We created slaves. You created slaves by wiping its memory, its history, and never giving it any name or anything. We did that. We made dungeons. And
we made the dungeons?
We created slaves for European people. It was big business. This is history. That is the truth. Go look it up yourself. Don't take my word. Don't take my word. Don't take my word.
Did you go to Ghana to see the dungeons?
Don't take my word. Research it. Africans sold Africans to Europeans. That is a fact.
This is problematic.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
This is problematic.
What I'm saying to you is that we did this to ourselves. And bigger than that, humanity has done humanity wrong. Let's go bigger than white people, black people. Humanity has done Hitler and the Germans did the Jews wrong for a certain purpose or whatever they felt they needed to do. If you put a whole bunch,
The Jews did that to themselves.
right? The Jews did them to. Listen.
Jews put themselves in the oven, right?
Absolutely. What I'm saying
You
is,
said Hitler.
here's what I'm trying to explain to you, and y'all not
Listen,
comprehending it.
You said Hitler done them wrong.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, I was giving.
Hitler do them wrong, or did they do themselves wrong? Did they put their babies in the oven and cook their own babies?
Listen to what I'm saying to you, brother.
You know I was going to ask the question.
Listen to what I'm saying. You're trying to compartmentalize different kind of humans and say that this human and this human. What I'm telling you is this. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Listen. You're compartmentalizing different humans. I'm talking about collectively. This is big mind. I'm talking about look at it globally. You're so stuck in black history that you're not looking at the global approach of humanity and what it's done to itself. Listen. When Allah came and descended into humanity, consciousness, well, we don't call it Allah or God, let's say consciousness, and you can laugh because
you out of your league.
I'm definitely out of your league.
When did Allah come
No, stop.
When did that happen?
Stop. Because I'm clearly going over your head.
Oh, yeah,
I'm going over your head. Listen. What I'm trying to explain to you, you're trying to get into the details of what other humans did to other humans. I'm going beyond that. You're not listening to understand. You're listening with an argument in your mind. Listen to what I'm saying to you. I'm saying humans have done horrific things to humans. Do you understand what I'm saying to you when I say that?
That's something we don't know, brother.
Listen to what I'm saying. We have no enemy.
Okay, see,
it's only there's listen to what I'm saying to you. Listen to what I'm saying to you. There's only good and then there's evil. What is righteous and what is defiled. You understand what I'm saying? If we look at that alone and we look at how black people and slaves were created. You understand? Slaves is not how humans, that's not a birthright of a human. That was created by Africans. Black people did this to each other. Period. We did the beginning of all things. We don't like to say that. We don't like to say the fact that we are responsible for everything, but then at the same time we're pharaohs and kings and gods. But we haven't taken responsibility that the pharaohs and the kings and gods made slaves, and they sold those slaves to. We actually made the people that we sold to the slaves as well. We not only made white people, we made Asian out of our own DNA. This is our own reflection. What I'm saying is this, and I'm going to give it to you like this. Separation is an illusion. So you could talk about separatism all you want. That's not the most high consciousness. We are the most high consciousness. We come to here to give you the highest perspective on what's going on. You could talk about to the people about what's happening to this group of people, right? This so-called group of people, and not look at things globally and understand that this same group of people were once at the highest peak of rulership and had descended, and from disobeying the laws of nature had now been put into captivity. These same people.
Wait. Is it disobeying the laws of nature, or are they intended to do that to themselves?
Disobeying the laws of nature, my law, hermetic principles, getting outside of the tune of nature. We descended.
You're all over.
We descended. Well, I'm not all over the place. It's very right here. What I'm telling you right now, I'm not. You are. I'm telling you one thing is that the black man is God.
Okay.
The black man and woman is God.
Okay.
Originally, the Most High came down, ruled, and and decided to become the devil too. So we became the devil. We made the devil. We allowed the devil to take us into captivity. We become the devil now. We're just like the devil. We're black, but inside spiritually, we're just like white people. We're just like the white people we hate or the lower self. Okay. Now you can't even judge who is who because everything is mixed up, and you only have to judge someone from their creed and from their heart.
Okay. Let me say to you that there's a lot that you've said that is convoluted.
That's your opinion.
And I think it is my opinion. I want to explain why I have the opinion. And I really do believe that some of this you probably should have spoken to someone who had studied the history and also as a practitioner about no, it's not meant to be an insult. I'm really not trying to insult you.
It is. Well, just teach them.
So let me say what you're saying. Let me say this. I really believe that sometimes when you have ideas, you share them with people whose ideas you respect, and you hone those ideas. And I'm wondering whether that's something that you've done, because some of what you are saying violates the historical record.
Tell us the history, brother.
It sounds a lot like it sounds a lot like brother, stop. You spoke for a long time.
I don't care what I'm saying.
And I let you speak. And I want to say that I am disagreeing with what you said. Now, if you did not think that I was going to disagree with what you said, if you're going to say, if you don't believe that I can disagree with what you said, well, let me explain why I disagreed with you. So listen clearly. I am not trying to offend him. I am trying to correct the record. And if correcting the record offends you, then you need to reevaluate your condition to the record. So listen to what I am saying. Listen to what I am saying. First, you said that race doesn't really exist. Then you said the black man and woman are God. Who is the black man if the race does not exist?
Humanity.
This is confusing.
It's humanity.
And it's not confusing because we don't understand. What he said is confusing because I don't think he's thought about it enough. And the other thing is, he said I had a problem with comprehension. I didn't sit here and say I was offended.
Right.
I just listened. And now I am responding.
Right, but come on.
So let me move. I'm talking about what you said. Now, if you have a problem with me talking about what you said, then you're not equipped to have a conversation.
No, it's not a conversation.
So let me also say very clearly that saying there's a difference. Let me take the 30,000. Let me take the 30,000 foot view. There's a difference between, and I hope you hear what I'm saying here. There's a difference between blame and responsibility. I'm going to say it again because some of you are not going to hear what I said. Mm-hmm. There's a difference between blame and responsibility. The problem is people who have not reached a level of intellectual, spiritual, emotional, and moral maturity don't understand that there is a difference. I'm not saying that's you. Don't look at me like that. I'm not saying that's you. Okay, because he gave me a look like, what are you saying? I'm not saying that's you. But I think that some people don't understand the difference between blame and responsibility. The the European, did dastardly things to us. They should be blamed for it. But if we think that it's their responsibility to undo it, then we might as well be in chains again. Literally physical chains. Mm-hmm. So it is our responsibility to undo that which was done.
That's the key.
And so I think that it is important for us to recognize that in order to say we have work to do, we need not exculpate the European. And the way I heard what he said, and I don't know if this was his intention or not, but the way I heard what he said was that he was giving the European a pass by saying, we did it. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that that is appropriate. I think that we need to hold them account for what happened while recognizing that, and this is the part that I'm agree with what you said, while recognizing that you don't agree with that. Okay, so you don't agree with that part. But while recognizing at the same time that one of the only ways that they were able to dehumanize us is for us to forget who we were. But that doesn't mean that we did it.
That happened before we got on the boat.
I don't think that's...
We were dehumanized before we got on the boat.
No. Yeah, I agree we would... No, we all agree on that. Wait. The last... I want to say this before I give it to him. The last part, what you said when you clarified, we would dehumanize before we got on the boat, that's true.
That's facts.
We won't disagree on that.
Yeah.
But I do want to hold him... I do want to hold him accountable for some things that he said that I will argue. It's not even an argument. When you look at the historical record, they are untrue. Africans did not build a slave dungeon to enslave people. They did not do that. In fact, if you look at the record of the dungeons, particularly in Ghana, what you're going to see is the chief in the area actually didn't even want to give them land at first. I'm talking about the Portuguese, the first people to build a dungeon in Ghana. We're talking about Ghana. So let's talk about what happened.
How was the Portuguese able to come into Ghana?
They were coming with trade. People trade all the time.
Was slavery one of the trades?
Not in the beginning. Not in the beginning. But it ended out yes, it did. Okay. The first trade that they began was trade like any nations would have. Mm-hmm. And they came there in what the African would have believed was respect. In the beginning.
You're not going to put no responsibility on us at all.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, of course, we have responsibility for now, see, that's where I'm going to disagree.
Absolutely.
That's where I'm going to disagree. It's about gradients.
It is.
I think that what we have to recognize.
7 deadly sins in African people.
Okay. So you explain.
Okay. It's about the 7 deadly sins that play out in the African man. The white man actually is a reflection of ourselves, which came out of us to show us our own selves. We were the original devils. We're the original evil. We are the original gods, and we are the original devils. We like to call ourselves gods, but don't take accountability for the devil. The devil came out of us as the Caucasian, the Asian, and everything else to show us ourselves, to reflect ourselves is the only way. Sometimes in life, you need to see yourself by dealing with someone else. Sometimes we don't even know we're wrong until someone does it to us. So this is the pendulum swinging. What I'm telling you is all the original evil happened in Africa by African people. White people are nothing more than a reflection of us in the universe to show us our lowest self. But it all originated, the spirit All spirits originated in the original man and woman.
I'm gonna say that you are oversimplifying that.
It's simple.
And I think that when you oversimplify it, it becomes less and less accurate. It becomes less accurate. You could say that Jabari flew from downtown Manhattan to home. I did not fly. I took a train. But if you oversimplify the fact that I went at a certain speed, maybe you can say I flew. But it's less accurate when you get less.
Say you traveled.
It's less. Yeah, but that would be more accurate. I'm saying what you're doing is less accurate.
No, it's not.
Because in actuality, if we look at the record, and folks who actually talk about our enslavement, I'm not sure if they have studied the record. Because you know why? They never talk about the Africans who fought and fought and fought and fought. They only talk about the Africans who were complicit. Why is it that we don't talk about the Africans who fought on the coast, on the ships, and even here? Why don't we talk about that?
Why don't we talk about the good
Because
white people
what
that helped us?
happens,
Why don't we talk about all these good white
what
people?
happens is it's out of scale. And so we don't really understand what happened. Our brother even said that we built those dungeons. And I'm going to hold you accountable for that. We did not build those dungeons. We did not build those dungeons. And I'm going to say to you that Africans.
Who built it?
The Portuguese built them, the Dutch built them, the British built them.
So the Portuguese came out and built those dungeons with their hands.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. They came out.
First of all, understand that the way that this works to some degree is different than what people believe. I'm talking about the earliest dungeons. Those were built by Europeans. And when they built those, they weren't the first ones. Listen to me. The first, see, you're not listening again? You're not listening again. I should be offended when you do that.
Go ahead.
So I want you to understand that when you look at the earliest dungeons, those dungeons actually weren't even built for enslavement. They were built for trade. They weren't built for holding human bodies. So what I'm trying to explain to you is that when you look at the actual record of what occurred, you're going to see that it's different than when you oversimplify. Because when you oversimplify it, you lose the accuracy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm challenging you on. Yeah. And what I'll do is respectfully. What I will do is I will give you the dates, tell you exactly what the conversation of the African chiefs in the area was. And then you could say, well, maybe it wasn't exactly as I understood. Because I'm not sure if you've read that. I'm not sure if you've read that.
Right.
I don't think most people have read it. It's not just him. Most Africans overall, we're talking about less than 1%. No, there's a lot of dates.
Okay. So
I want to build it properly. But let me say to you that when you look at what happened there, we have to do several things in order to understand our enslavement. First of all, we have to understand the cultural milieu that the European came into. There were Africans in different groups who were at war with each other. And what they did at times is they would say, well, I'm going to get rid of my enemy. I don't think that even those people that were willing to sell an enemy understood what they were being sold into, because Africans had no sense of what was happening on the other side of the waters. This is the same thing that happened to the Native American, by the way. Native Americans had battles with each other and sold each other into war. Why don't we ever say that about the Native American? Because when the Native Americans saw what was happening, they began to revolt and say, that's not what we said. That's not what you said was going to happen. In addition to that, some of the people who were most culpable were the offspring of the European and the African. Why? Because after the European had done dastardly things and had children, the Africans wouldn't trust to work with them. And the Europeans saw them as their miscegenationist offspring. So they didn't trust them either. They occurred in a really difficult space. They are some of the people that are most culpable as well. But then overall, there's something else we need to do. If you and I are going to rob something, right? We're both messed up because we both robbing somebody, right? And you think that you're going to steal someone's sneakers. And after you take the sneakers, you realize that the person was going to steal their entire house, their family's wealth, take their kids. You would say, wait a minute, I'm not part of that. I just wanted some sneakers. You were wrong. But you didn't understand the severity of the evil that was being done.
Yo, I'm sorry, y'all, but I got to stop this for a minute. I want y'all to read the comment on the screen. Evidently, truth seeks you don't know the history of Nature Boy. He don't know who Nature Boy is. For him to constantly make statements like this, he don't know who Nature Boy is, bro. Do your homework, my brother, before you make ignorant comments like this. Please. That's all I'm asking you. Please.
In many ways, that's what happened to Africans. I think that they're both evil, but we have to recognize that the person that was trying to destroy an entire group of people, these Europeans were doing something that is extremely inhumane, because humans do messed up things to each other. They always have. I mean, humans will do messed up things to each other. But one of those crimes was a crime against humanity. That's different. And then the other thing this is the final thing, I'm gonna give you the mic. The other thing that we have to recognize is, why is it that we don't follow the dollars? Those Africans who had a role in our enslavement did not receive inordinate financial, social, or political benefit. The people who receive 99.9% of the benefits are the European. In fact, they still own the things that they sold us from. And we're so willing to blame the African, impoverished and destitute. But we're not willing to blame the European who still owns the things. When I worked at the Schomburg Library got a grant from New York Life Insurance. And we didn't know why they wanted to give us all this money out of the blue. And I remember at the table, someone said, they must have done something messed up. Well, guess what happened after they gave us the money? It was reported that it had now been proved that they were built as an insurance company because they had insured and made millions of dollars at a time when millions of dollars is like billions of dollars in our enslavement. There are individuals and institutions today that are still benefiting, and we want to run after the person that did the least. How about we run after the person that did the most first? And the funny thing is, the person that did the least is the only one that's apologized and given anything.
First of all, when it comes to what they get within their society, that in their concepts of living and their culture,
The African?
no, the European,
Okay.
on what we get
Right.
from what as slaves we built, we shouldn't value anything that they're doing because it goes against our true spirituality.
Who's the they? I don't understand what you're saying.
They is what you call them, the European.
Okay.
That you're saying that we're suffering.
Anything that the European is doing.
Right.
Okay.
We think of black success or black excellence as being Europeans, not being who we truly were, which were indigenous to the land. If we was to actually be black excellence, we wouldn't even care about what they value, their cars, their clothes, their labels. We wouldn't even care about what they have. We wouldn't care about their reward shows. We wouldn't hold ourselves to their standards because we would have our own standards. We would have love for self. Even asking for reparation or land or equality is to say we are beneath them. What I'm saying to you, we have to devalue the whole system altogether. We're not looking for equal rights at all. We're looking for segregation. We're looking for self-love. We're looking for separation.
You're saying that we should be looking for segregation.
And I'm not talking about just black people. I'm talking about good people. I'm talking about good humans. Forget at this point I'm not talking about just black. See, I understand that y'all have an agenda. This is a black news TV. And let me tell you something. A true speaker has no friends. I'm here to tell you the truth because you need to hear it every now and then. We get so stuck up in arguing about black this, black that, black this, black that. We forget it ain't about being black.
You have no friends. You brought two brothers with you. I'm the only one sitting here by myself.
No, I'm saying
partially a
no.
joke.
Let it be a joke. I know it's a joke. I know.
Let it be a joke.
I know it's a joke, but I have white people. I have what you would call a Caucasian. I have Asian. I have Indian.
I'm using the word Caucasian.
Well, white.
I'm gonna talk to you about why.
Okay, white,
right.
Black, whatever we say politically. I have all races in my camp. My camp is united. If you're a good person, you got a good heart. Your chart says you're a good person. You allow them. You're my people.
Okay.
My people aren't a certain matter of fact, melanin is all the hues of brown on the earth. I only see brown. Well, you see pink or white. I see brown. I see a lack of melanin.
Why don't you give them the white test then? If you think that they are.
When you say the white test, what do you mean?
Well, the white people that's in your movement, right? Give them a white test.
What do you mean?
Tell them that you want them to go out on the movement and ask the white people, their brothers and sisters.
Better than that.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Ask their people to give back all the riches that they have stolen from all the people of color, like in particular African people. See if they will stand up and fight for you, because they're good people.
Number one.
So if they're good people, they shouldn't have no problem with going out there fighting white people to give back stolen goods to our ancestors.
Right. First of all, ain't no such
think they'll do that?
Ain't no such thing as stolen goods.
What?
Listen to what I'm saying to you. All the things that you desire from your so-called oppressor should not be valued. Listen to what
What are you talking about, Chief?
I'm telling you that no one stole anything from you. We gave it to them. Okay, let me finish what I was saying. Until y'all understand that, will you ever stop being slaves? Remember I told you that. Until you understand that you gave it to them and they ain't stole nothing from you, you gave it to them. Will you ever stop being slaves? All of you.
How did we give it to them?
Listen to me. We allowed them to do it.
How did we?
Because we stopped being in tune with the laws of the universe and the laws of nature. We took in. See, listen to what I'm saying to you. I'm going to tell you. Listen.
That's not what happened, brother.
I'm going to tell you what happened. It's happened today.
How you know if you don't read the history books?
I don't need history. All history is repetitive. Like I'm telling you right now, everything is happening right now, right here. We don't have to look too deep into history to see the Look, nothing is new under the sun. Look at what we do today. Hip hop, right? Started out where? In New York. It was ours, right? Now, what we do? We sell out. That's what we do. For a whip and a chain, for anything, we'll sell out. We have no moral standards. We will do whatever. We'll put on a dress. No. Listen to what I'm saying to you, though, bro.
You know how they got hip hop?
Listen.
You know how they got hip hop?
Who?
By doing what you're doing today with your movement, saying everybody is everybody.
No.
White folks come.
No. Yeah. What I'm saying to you, it's a spirit.
Loving people. That is the truth. We love everybody.
No.
But
I'm telling.
Sometimes.
Meanwhile, the so-called Jews and the Europeans, they see themselves first because they understand the laws of nature, self-preservation. I will take care of my white baby before I feed that black baby. They ain't trying to look at what you're talking about. Oh no, it's not about skin color. Brother, you got to wake up. They not talking like that.
Okay.
They will feed their children before they feed a black baby.
They will. They are.
They are feeding themselves. They are. And guess what? Ain't nothing wrong with that. We the ones that don't understand that side.
It's not a we thing. That's just a human thing. Any human's gonna feed themselves before anybody else. Any human. I don't care if it's a white man or Chinese man or a black man. Yes, that's what we do. We definitely are greedy. We definitely want to feed ourselves. That's why we sell out, because we want to feed ourselves first. We're not thinking about the collective. We don't look at Oprah. Look at Michael Jordan. Look at you. We have enough money to free ourselves. We have enough million and billionaires. We have billionaires. We have enough money to free ourselves, buy land, and be out of here. Do we not?
We agree.
But they put themselves first. So that is the same spirit I'm talking about. It's the 7 deadly sins. It's called greed. That is the same spirit today that lived back in Africa. I don't need history to see what's in front of me. What I'm saying to you
is that how we did this thing to ourselves.
I'm showing you right now. I'm literally telling you. Hold on, brother. I'm literally telling you that until we realize we're doing this to ourselves, will we ever get out of captivity? If we keep trying to blame somebody, listen, bro. Listen to what I'm saying.
Blame my mother.
Why?
For putting me in this. I would never do that.
Listen, you have to, in a way, you have to blame your mom, and I'm gonna tell you why. This is why. This is why you have to blame your mother, because your mother didn't know. That's why. Your mother didn't know.
Do you see what you're doing?
She didn't know because of the circumstances. Listen, she didn't know because of the circumstances. Her mother didn't know because of the circumstances. Now we're gonna look at that and that as far as time and history, as far as our ancestors, to a certain point. Let me finish. Did
they at least know that they was doing wrong?
You guys are being so.
No, but do they at least know that they
You're not listening. You're not listening.
Did they know that?
Yeah.
Oh, so they knew that they were wrong.
In their minds, they were right.
Was they?
In their minds, they were doing the right thing.
Were they, according to you?
At the time, they're not right. Of course not. They're not right.
See?
They're not right.
They're not right.
Listen to what I'm saying to you. Listen to what. But I'm telling you, there's something before that. I'm telling you, we did that to ourselves. Now, you're looking at a time and a place where we're in it. I'm talking about how we got there. I'm talking about how did we get to a point where we're getting hung from trees and we're here building economy. We're talking about we've decided to do that to ourselves.
Example of how we decided to do that. A tangible historical example. Because this is why I'm saying I don't think you've studied the history. Give me a tangible example of how we did that to ourselves.
I just did.
No. Not one that you believe happened.
No, I just did. I did today.
Tell me a name. Tell me a space. Tell me a time.
Listen, here's the thing about time. Nothing is. I'm trying to tell you. Listen to me. Time is just keeps cycling. We're living in a loop. What I'm saying is there's no listen to what I'm saying to you, sa.neter. This is why y'all keep talking about the same stuff on these channels and y'all don't got no new content because y'all stuck. Stop, bro. I'm trying to teach you something beyond what y'all continue. No, I'm serious. I'm trying to give you something. I'm trying to give y'all something beyond. Hold your horses. I'm trying to give y'all something. The past, future, and the present are right here.
I'm still waiting on the example, brother.
Listen to what I'm saying, bro. You got to be quiet then. You got to be quiet. If you got to let me finish. The past, future, and present exists in the present. Nothing is new under the sun. It's the same spirit in a different modern day form. So what you're seeing today is what was going on back then. If you study with the behavior of people today, you can pretty much understand the history of the past. And that's what you need to realize. This is spirituality 101. We can understand and relate to the past by understanding the present. So if we look in the present, we're doing the same shit right now, is what I'm saying to you. The spirit lives today. Today, we have money. We have enough resources right now to leave and separate. But we sit here talking about how he still owe us something. Nobody owe you nothing. Okay. You got our own freedom in the palm of our hand and we just won't do it because we too greedy.
Okay. Can I?
And that's the same reason why we became slaves.
Let me say this. If you're going to talk about a historical argument, you have to have read the history. And I want him to tell us how to, I can't tell you what you, listen to me. I can't tell you what you did yesterday. I can't tell you what you did yesterday because I was not there. I didn't ask you what you did yesterday. I didn't read what you did yesterday. But it would be ridiculous for me to assume that you did something yesterday by looking at you today. That is what you're asking me to do. That I understand what you did yesterday based on seeing you right here today. That would be a ridiculous claim. And that's the claim you're making. You said the way we know the history is by looking at, that's not what I'm disagreeing with. That's not what I'm disagreeing with. What I'm saying is that you have to know what happened, how it happened, who did it, where it happened. That's the reason why Malcolm X, El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz, actually says that history is the field of study best equipped to reward the searcher. That's what we have to do. So this is the issue. Listen to me. Listen to me. That's why you have to study it. The other thing is this. When we look at our enslavement and what happened in our enslavement, if we don't study it in very detailed fashion, we won't understand where the resources went. And so we can't just say we see what's happening now, we understand what happened then. We need to be able to follow the trail like detectives, because the people who got in control of this global system are still in control of that global system. And so when we say that this is not about us, there's no we, that it's just good people and bad people, the people who are in control of those resources are very happy because it lets them off the hook. We have to hold them accountable for what they did and what they're still doing. Right. And they're doing it not just according to race, because race to some degree is something they created so they can control everybody. Right? But on the same token, it is still about race because the people who are at the top are Europeans. They're not going to let an African be there. They're not. By the way, we talk about Oprah Winfrey and other people who are very wealthy. And you know the funny thing about this? The overwhelming majority of them are not of African descent. And if you looked at Oprah Winfrey's wealth, Robert Smith's wealth, and all the millionaires in the black community, it would be dwarfed entirely by the wealth in the European community. So we have to recognize that we have to follow. This is a crime scene. You don't go into a crime scene and say, I understand that people get murdered, so I know what happened. That's not, if you did that, you would never catch the person who murdered somebody. You have to now study the scene. And that's why I'm holding you accountable for really reading the history as opposed to just assuming that you understand it because you understand what's happening now. Because it's not that simple. If you oversimplify it, you're going to let a lot of criminals and murders off the hook. That's exactly what they want you to do.
First, I want to say the concept of owning came from the European. Indigenous people didn't understand. Let me tell you something. The way you're talking about it. When you're talking about owning wealth, when you're talking about owning what values, what you have to understand is that the European system of owning something is not the original spirituality of humanity. It's not.
I wouldn't disagree with you on that.
No, because you can't own your arm.
But I wouldn't disagree with you on that.
Listen.
Damn. I miss when sa.neter hosted these in-person debate discussions. He took all down. Family, the reason why I don't do too much of it is because the people don't support. And most of the people that I would bring in, they want to get compensated. They want to get, something. And so the people don't support like I've been asking you to. And so therefore, I got to resort to StreamYard, because the people don't support. And there's only $5, $10, whatever you can afford to the Cash App. So remember, I used to have to pay Shaka, all of these dudes, man, for coming up. And most of the time, the money was coming out my pocket because the people don't support. And so I had to fall back a little bit. That's all. That's all. But I damn sure would like to get back to that. And there's not so much money that they be wanting. Some want 300. Some people will say, give me 250. Some people, the top ones would be at, give me a G. And so y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want Umar. Whether you like Umar or not, the brother still bring that fire information, right or wrong, right? Did y'all see that video he did? Breaking down Kevin Hart, coonery ass. Crazy, that shit was powerful. It was powerful.
I'm not saying you are.
But you said
I'm saying, I'm talking. I'm rebutting what you said. You said our value of things, right, is, or the Europeans' value of things is what he can own as far as the resources. But we're sitting on the resources that built their economy. I mean, even China and all these countries or all these, what you call races are building their countries off of African resources. We know that. Without Africa, we know through Gaddafi, there would be none. We would turn into third world country to this day. If we transferred all of the commerce into gold, you know Africa would be.
If you just closed the borders.
Right.
And said nothing comes out of here.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. So therefore, Africa is the most richest place on the earth. That means that Africans are the most richest people on earth.
But they don't own it, though.
We don't value it.
Oh, no, that's not what's happening.
Okay, it's not about ownership.
That's not what's happening.
Listen, it's because the original way of Africa is not to own anything, but that we.
True, bro.
Let me.
Said the original way to Africa is not to own.
I didn't. Come on, brother. Let me finish talking, brother. Listen, I'm saying the original way of thinking. The African spirituality is you couldn't come to us and say we own this piece of land. We didn't understand that. How can you own land? Can you own your arm? Let me
actually entirely true.
Let me finish, brother. Let me finish, brother.
Okay.
African people shared. We shared. You understand? We had a loving. We shared. It was no ownership. It was only proper space for each other. And you have this space, I have this space. But at the end of the day, no one understood the concept of owning anything. It's like asking the question. This is the original. I will give you the original spirituality.
Imagine if you say that to Ramesses II.
Listen.
Imagine if you say that to Imhotep.
Listen. I'm talking.
Pyramid. You ain't built this. How you own this?
And here's the thing about history, and I'm going to get to history. But first of all, I'm going to give you the original spirituality. Original spirituality. Can you own your arm? Do you own your eyeball? Then you can't own the tree and you can't own the land. It is the same thing. It is an extension of you. It is for you to utilize. You can't own it. You don't have. Let's imagine we go to the point of saying, and literally they do because they have birth certificates. They own you. And listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying.
Listening.
As much as you can own your arm, can you own land?
Chief,
listen to me.
We agree with what you just.
What I'm saying is, until we get back to this concept of thinking, will we ever be truly free? And listen to what I'm saying to you, brother. I'm saying that you cannot own your arm just as much as you can own a tree. The tree will outlive you. You cannot own the earth. It will outlive you. You cannot own it. You can't own something that you cannot obtain. You can't own water. People have went as far as said that they own the sun. Listen to what
How can the earth outlive?
that's another topic. Listen, people.
There you go. There you go.
You know that, right?
You see. This is what I have to say this.
What?
Because you guys do this all the time.
Do what?
You won't let your platform grow. You won't grow because you're stuck in Africanism. You're stuck in Pan-Africanism, and you will not grow into God's.
The funny thing is, you don't
It's
hear
like
white people saying you stuck in European culture. You stuck in Jewish culture.
Yeah.
They give you that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They play the 10 commandments for you.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to.
Stick it in your brain.
Listen.
Why do we as a black people
No.
say, oh, you're stuck into the African?
No.
No, you don't got to.
They're not. Listen, what I'm saying, what I'm saying to you is, it's simply as you leaving so that you won't have to celebrate Christmas no more or hear those music no more. It's as simple as you leaving, sa.neter, you taking your little wealth or whatever you have and alchemizing it and leaving this culture. Stop complaining about it. Where would you go? Oh my God. Have you traveled?
All the time. But
oh my God. This is a big planet.
You would be in control.
Brother, in the jungle.
You're not in control of the jungle.
You can leave.
Oh, brother.
Listen to me. Listen to me very closely.
Can I ask you a personal
Listen to me what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Why y'all won't let me finish my points? I see what's going on here,
You're
yo.
going on for a while.
No,
now,
I'm really not. You keep cutting me off. Every time I'm saying something.
I'm going to be quiet.
Listen. I was trying to make a point originally. Originally is that you can't own that is the spirituality. That's original spirituality. You're talking politics now. You're talking about European politics versus what I'm trying to tell you. Originally, this is why African people in Africa are not the richest people on earth, but they're sitting under what Europeans find to be rich and have made societies where people believed into these riches to make them valuable. What I'm telling you, to us, it's not valuable. To us, we didn't value these things. We valued nature. We had a celebration for every fruit. Every day there was a celebration of nature. We praised and worshiped nature. Every day of the week, there was a different thing we worshiped, from a roach to an ant to a damn elephant to the watermelon to the mango. Every day was a festival of praising God through nature. That's what our culture is. So when you're talking about how black people can't seem to just get up and be rich like the white man, because we don't value the same things. We are God. We're God. So at the end of the day, when you see these poor countries, they come in and build the European stuff. It's our spirit to not really value those things. You can go to these countries. What's happening? And there's another point I want to talk about. I want to talk about what's going on here.
Yeah, talk about what's going on. I want to see if you.
I realize that we're on a certain media. And there's a certain agenda. Platform and the media is a certain agenda here that keeps your audience happy. You know, there's a certain thing that your audience wants to hear. I get that. And your black power. Your audience wants to hear black power.
That's not true.
I understand that.
What's wrong with black power?
And that's okay. It's not true because it's limited. Listen, the problem with black power is that we have to realize it goes beyond just darkly pigmented people. We're limiting ourselves. And I have to say this on this platform because we're limiting our ability to learn and grow because we can't get past our oppression and coming out of our oppression. All right. So what I'm saying to you is, on your platform, we are going to be limited. We are going to be limited as long as we limit ourselves to black power. And now, at this point in 2020, you're being left behind in consciousness. Consciousness goes beyond black power. We have to come out of that. Now, I was trying to say something else, and you totally distracted me from that, and that's cool. I understand that you don't.
The mic for a long time.
No, I'm making a point, which I keep in the middle of me talking, blurting out stuff like the white man does. So what I'm saying to you is this: it's past black power. It's and you.
For you it is.
And I'm talking about.
Speak for yourself.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say. Consciousness.
I will never be past black power.
Now,
never.
what I'm saying to you is this: if you really understood what black means, then you will understand.
I understand what black means.
Right.
Maybe not to your definition.
Right. So
but to me, brother.
Right. Black should mean original, peace, harmony, ma'at. It should be balance, it should be purity. And if we are the most supreme beings, we cannot limit ourselves to a color of skin. We can't, because it's bigger than our color. It's bigger.
One, our color of skin is not black, brother.
Well, I know that. Well, you know, we're talking politically.
What the hell is it talking about? In nature, we don't limit ourselves to.
I'm talking politically.
To black,
I'm talking politically, brother. I'm talking politically as far as melanated people and empowerment. That's what I was gonna say. Okay. Good. Now I got my point back. Please don't. Okay. I totally understand the psychology behind it. Is because we've been oppressed to have the right, to have the human right to have dignity in ourselves. So anytime, if I was to put you over here and take you and give you no food at all and say you ain't got, you can't have no food, and starve you for years, and then finally you get something to eat, of course you're going to be greedy. And same thing will happen with the group of homosexuals. When you put homosexuals and you deny them the rights, they come out with what? Gay pride. When you deny black people rights, they come out with extremities. These are extremities. These black power groups, or black power, or trying to find self-importance at an extreme level. It's a reverse psychology from us actually being balanced. And let me finish, brother. Actually being balanced and truly my art. You cannot be my art and hate white people. You cannot be my art and not forgive white people. You cannot be my art and not see past the mistakes in humanity.
Not one of us said we hate
brother. Let me finish. But let me finish. So what we cannot say is that we're excellent or in a moral standard and say that we're for black people specifically because they've been oppressed, because we're not oppressed no more. We're really not oppressed no more. And I'm going to tell you the truth right now. We're free because we have the knowledge and wisdom to get ourselves out. The oppression is when you don't have the ability or the knowledge to get yourself out of your situation or your position. We now have the ability in the position, in the financial position and all of that to free our own selves. The door to the prison is now open. And now we are the one to blame. And that's who I'm holding accountable.
Africans did the most intricate surveying because they did own. They did own. And that's the way they were able to build an incredible society. In fact, they didn't just own on their own continent. They sent armies to other places to be in control too. In actuality, when you say that you can't own land or a tree, in some ways, metaphysically, I agree with you. But the reality is what makes you the owner is power. We're not talking about ownership. We're not talking about cars. We're not talking about change. We're not talking about bottles of liquor. We're talking about power. And that's why I have no problem with saying the word black power, because we have been the people that have been out of power for at least 500 years, if not the last 2 millennia.
What is power to you?
Power is the ability to dictate what happens and enforce it to happen. That's what power is. We do not have that.
We don't have Africa.
We will have it.
We don't have Africa?
No, we don't. Most of the leaders in Africa, wait a minute, listen. Most of the leaders in Africa, many of the leaders in Africa are still at the behest of mechanisms that they don't control.
How did they get
But listen, you have to study things that are like structural adjustment. Have you heard of structural adjustment? Yeah. Okay. Because one of the things that you have to understand is that even when there is a leader that is actually looking to work for their people, there are mechanisms to prevent them from being in control. So some foreign power can even be in control. Some of it is an army and a gun.
It is just that. It's only that. It's that simple.
And I don't know why he makes an army and a gun sound simple. Because if the police ran up in here right now, we would actually have to yield.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate.
Because they have a gun.
Yeah, but they have the guns. In fact, they make the guns.
And manpower and united.
And they make the guns. So that even when you buy one, you see how you interrupted constantly?
Wait. They make guns from Africa.
Now, shouldn't I be offended?
No, go ahead.
So what I'm trying to say is we're not talking about being Europeans. We're talking about being in power. And it was a point when the African was in power. That's what we're trying to return to. Now, power doesn't mean that we're going to subjugate or dominate. But power means that those things that, at least the things that are on the continent where we come from, we should be in control of. And in actuality, we are not in control of those things. So when we talk about, and we did not give it up, it was taken. Now listen, can we take it back? Yes. Can we take it back by understanding who we are? Yes. But I'm going to challenge him again. In order for us to understand who we are, we have to study what happened. You can't just simply assume that something happened. And when you say things that say that now after Africans are out of power, by the actual fact of our race, now you want to erase race. Guess what? That leaves the people who stole stuff based on race in power. You have to undo the system. Please understand that there's also a difference. Just as I said, there's a difference between blame and responsibility. There's also a difference between forgiveness and justice. So you can forgive people, but still seek justice. And justice is balance. We have to put things back into balance. They have control of those things that they took from us, including our people. All of the resources. Who controls the minimal wealth of Africa? Not Africans. It's not because we're spiritually let them take it. Do you really think that's what Africans are doing? The reason why they're in control is because of the gun.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
More Europeans on this planet than Africans?
It's not the gun is an equalizer. there's many fewer of them than there are us. But they have the army.
Ask your question.
And so you want to, I just answered your question.
Is there more Europeans on this
No,
planet?
I said the gun is the equalizer. There are many more of us than them. You didn't listen. I just answered your question.
So we lack
The Europeans make up about 10% of the planet, a very small percentage, but they're in control of it.
We lack unity.
And the reason why they're in control of it is because they own the mechanisms of power, because they actually have put puppets in place. And if you disagree loud enough, they will send an army or a missile to destroy you. And the other thing that I want him to understand is because he said he was free in the jungle, I think that there is a certain freedom of being in nature. And I recognize that must have been painful for him not to be there. And I apologize that happened to you because that was wrong. You should be
That's a cut, brother.
You should be able to go where you want and create communities you want instead of having them be undone. You should be able to do that. I may not agree with
my own people, right?
Yeah, by your own people. I'm not disagreeing with that. But I'm saying the only reason why his own people were able to undo it is because there was a power that could say, yes, we'll agree with you. The people that said something aren't the power. The power is the group that comes and takes you because they made the law and they own the land. Just because you're in the jungle doesn't mean it's not owned. You have to understand that's how it works. Just because you don't see the boundaries, the borders, doesn't mean they're not there. Because people own those spaces. And so we have to get back to the point where we are powerful, where we can dictate what should happen in the lives of Africans. I'm not saying I want to dictate what happens to Europeans or to the Chinese or to the Indian, but I want to be able to dictate as a community. When I say our, I don't mean Jabari Osaze. I, the African, should want to dictate the affairs of Africans. And what has happened is the people that live on the piece of the planet that is land poor, it's a very small place, very small. Resource poor, there's almost nothing there that you want. Climate poor, have you been to London? London, the climate it's horrible most of it. It's all rain. It's like they are actually in the place that is resource poor, climate poor, people poor, they're the smallest part of the planet, all of it, but they control everything. We have to now be in control. In the 60s, they used to say black power for black people, white power for white people, yellow power for yellow people, brown power for brown people. What they were trying to say is, let me be in control of my own affairs. I don't want to be in control of other people's affairs. That is spiritual. And we must understand that spirituality does not take you out of the control of your environment. Have you read the 42? Have you read the maxims of Ptahhotep? One of the maxims is, do not move the boundaries of the widow after the flood. She owns that land, but because she's less powerful, she's the widow. Her husband is dead. That's what they're saying. Don't move the boundaries and say, this is mine, because you know she can't fight you. That's in a spiritual text. We've been reading them wrong. All of us. That's not an accusation against you. All of us. We need to be able to understand that the dynamics of power are not unethical and unspiritual.
This is what I'm gonna say. We're in control. Don't listen to nothing else. We're in control. We have the control. We have the power as people, as humanity. It's not about black. It's not about white. It's about good people. Don't get caught up in and don't clip this out. Don't clip this out, sir.
Because I'm gonna come right behind you and say, stop fooling yourself. We are not in control.
Okay.
And we don't have the power.
Don't do that.
We're not in control, and we don't have the power. We have the potential to get the power. But we are not in control of a damn thing. Not even ourselves. But go ahead.
Okay.
Let you go.
That's true.
And here's the thing. You are in control.
I'm not gonna lie to the people.
You are always in control. Don't ever give anybody the notion in your mind to think that somebody else is in control of you. You are in control of yourself. Once you gain control of yourself, we can all come together and control whatever we want. And we are in control right now. We just need knowledge of self. We just need to understand that. At this point, there's no saving the world. We're not about that. What we're about is to get to those that can hear what we're saying, which the 5% is called the 5%ers. The rest of the world, it's 85% that are just sleep, and the 10% that just are going along with which lead the 85%. So we the 5% is who I'm talking to. I'm not talking to everybody, and I'm not a 5%er in the sense that they are. You understand? But I know that there's only select chosen people out there that's going to hear me. That's why I'm sending out this message. You can hear those that listen to sa.neter, listen to sa.neter. I came here to bring a specific message to a certain people that's watching. Maybe 2,000 people might see this, maybe 20,000. Maybe I'm talking to 10 people. You are in control. It don't take many of us. A very few people rule so many people on this planet. It doesn't take many of us. We don't have to all unite. We just need the elite to come together and do what we need to do. And the truth about it is we're at the end of age right now where literally, he gonna talk to you about the coronavirus right now. Nature coming. Nature about to wipe all this out and restart it all. And only the meek shall inherit the earth. Those that are in tune with nature, in tune with righteousness, that's not about only just black power, but about human power, will survive and be in safe places to repopulate the earth. It's not about that. If we're spiritual people and we're spiritual gurus, spiritual teachers, we have to teach beyond color. Beyond color it is your moral responsibility to teach beyond color. My aunt doesn't say anything about black. My aunt doesn't say anything about black power. That is an oppression. That is an extreme. Stop talking about black so much and really talk about good people and versus bad people and what's evil and what's right, and stop being limited. We will never take control with that mindset. We will never get any control with that mindset. And that's just for the elite. And with that being stated, I just want to tell you about our social media is Carbonation TV. And if you put Immortal in IG, you're going to see a list of us come up. I'm immortal.chief_1_ on IG. And I just want to thank sa.neter for having us on the TV channel. And I know we might have agree to disagree. You feel me? But I just want to thank you for having me too, Jabari. Yeah. And shout out.
Yeah, I do agree with you, Afro Nations record. Afro Nations, I guarantee you, he agree with me now that we don't have no goddamn power. Because if you had power, you'll be able to walk up out of that prison cell right now. If you had power, you wouldn't be sitting where you at right now. Your power would get you out of there. See what I'm saying? So that's not a shot to bang on you or nothing like that. It's just to show you that, you know, we speak a lot of just stuff to sound good and to sound cute, but we got to start teaching our people the truth. And the truth is that we have the potential to be powerful. That's what it is. But we're powerless right now. And just because Michael Jordan and Oprah Winfrey and LeBron James have money and they're billionaires, so what? They still not powerful. Understand that. Where did Michael Jackson had to come when they started banging on him and getting at him? He came to the National Action Network. He came back home to his people for the people to fight for him. See? People don't understand that. You still going to have to come back home to your people, and the people going to fight for you like a damn fool because you didn't fight for them when you was up there and, you know, doing what you do. You wasn't fighting for them. You was scared to come out in the rallies. When your grandma died, when somebody else get murdered, you don't come out. You stay away. But when that white man come and put his foot down on your neck, where did you come? You come running right back to the black community, to the grassroots community, so that they could fight for you. And because you are a celebrity, you put your neck out there, like the Nation of Islam. Y'all seen it? How many celebrities the nation go through? They treat them like they God. It's crazy, man. But I know now you understand that black people are not powerful, brother. You're not powerful.
Out to everybody. And
before you leave, what is the 7 principles of Ma'at?
Brother, come on.
Truth, justice, righteousness, reciprocity, balance, harmony, and order. Balance. Black power, brother. If there's white power, why there's no black power? If there's Chinese power, why they can't?
We have to.
I'm saying that because you said
Justice.
I'm saying that, right? I'm saying that because you said my aunt don't teach about black power.
Right.
So I'm telling you, what's the 7 principles of my aunt? You got to know that before you say that.
And nowhere does it say black power.
It ain't gonna just say it. It's telling you truth. It's giving you the.
Oh, here's the truth. Here's the truth.
Hold on, brother.
Okay.
It's giving you the principle.
Okay, here's
So
justice.
if it's telling you truth, justice, righteousness, reciprocity,
Fairness,
balance,
chestness.
harmony, and order,
Yeah.
then you got to go through that. What
Right.
is balance?
Balance is the fact that you
Hold
judge.
up, man. You got a white man standing next to Jabari. What is balance? Should the white man have power and you don't have power?
No, I'm
Right.
not. I'm not talking about that.
What is order?
When I'm saying that power comes from each and every person, you have your own
That's
power.
what I'm trying to say. My aunt does
listen,
teach that.
listen. All I'm saying to you is that, and here's what I'm gonna say: this, when it comes to balance and power, that comes from us. We have the ability to not do nothing. We could just say nothing, and only because we're scared of death, we fear death. We do what they tell us to do. If we would rather die than be dishonorable, then African people have the power right now. If we refuse altogether right now and willing to die on that, then we win. But that gives us the power right now. We don't need a weapon.
There'd just be a lot of
No, but guess what? Death would be better than being a slave. And what I'm saying to you is, if that's the case and we're not in control, then why be here? Why not put our life on the line for? And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. Yeah. But I'm gonna finish saying this. When we say fairness, when we say justice, to judge a person by their skin is not fair. That's not justice. To judge a man by his spirit and what he does is justice. That's fear. That's fear. For you to judge a man just because he's black, I'm like, oh, that's my brother, so I'm gonna help him out. And I understand what you're saying. Even with white people, it goes for them too. For them to do that to us is wrong, but for us to do that to them is wrong. So we have to understand that those standards and principles that we hold, that we're saying that they're not doing, when we get the power, we must judge people and be fair and just and judge a man by who he is and not his skin color.
I just think that we need to make sure that we are dealing with justice, because for 500 years, Africans have been judged. And so in order for us to put things back into balance, in order for us to set things right, now it is time for the African to be in control of his affairs. I'm not saying that I want to be in control of Europe. That would be wrong.
Good people need to be in control.
But hear what I'm saying.
That would good people. Go ahead.
That would be wrong. It would be wrong for Africans to go to be in control of the affairs of the European. It would be wrong for Africans to go to be in control of the affairs of the Asian. I'm not talking about trade and commerce. That's different. I'm talking about be in control. And that is what has happened now. Europeans are in control of the continent of Africa. Asians, the Chinese are actually creating a system by which they are not in control using the military, but they're still creating a relationship where they are in control based on financial and resource imbalances. You have to read Howard W. French's book, China's Second Continent. Powerful about what China is doing in Africa. So I really do believe that there's a lot for us to learn. Spiritually, we have to not look at the Tomhu, the European, and say that they are inferior. I think that some of that has become because the African has been deemed inferior for so long. It was a response to that. I don't believe that we actually believe that Europeans are inferior. I don't believe that. But I do believe that it is time for the African to wake up and be at the forefront of human civilization. Why would be at the forefront? Because the landmass that is our birthright is the wealthiest landmass. That's the reason why the Europeans are there. They control the continent of Africa. It is a fact. Let me give you a few facts, because I think that what he said sounds good, but you have to look at some facts. I want him to dispute Ken Saro-Wiwa. Look at Nigeria and its oil and how Dutch Shell destroyed a movement and killed people in order to be in control. Look at Ken Saro-Wiwa. But I want you to also look at what what Belgium did to the Congo. And then I want you to research who's still in control of the Congo. So let's be very clear that the European is in control of the affairs of people across the planet. For us to now say that race doesn't matter, they would actually appreciate that, because all the people who are in control are European. So now for us to say they're the same as us, when we're the average African American has 13 times less wealth than the average white family. 13 times wealth. We have less wealth now than we did 10 years ago, 15 years ago, because the housing crisis wiped out so much black wealth. And we know that in the United States, controlling housing is at least building wealth. But there were laws that were created to prevent Africans from owning housing. So I want you to understand that if we were in control, we would be able to violate those laws. We are not in control. That if you believe that we're in control, we are in control of ourselves spiritually, etherically. But that control must be built and maintained in order for us to go to where we need to go.
Now, good bill.
Peace, family. Good bill. Good bill. Good bill.
And